Hello everyone, here are the latest market news on April the 22nd, 2021. European Football Club's project ends in failure. An attempt by Europe's richest football clubs to form a new league that would concentrate more revenue in their hands has ended in disgraceful failure as 6 English clubs who initially signed up have pulled out. That refusal followed a furious response from fans, fighting players and coaches, and signals from the UK government that it would do everything possible to block such an initiative. Ed Woodward, chief executive of Manchester United Ltd, has resigned, and his former employer JPMorgan Bank has run into serious difficulties in agreeing to fund the new league to the tune of $6 billion. Shares in Juventus Football Club SpA, the only publicly traded Italian member of the breakaway league, fell 12.5%, and Manchester United shares fell 6% on Tuesday night on the New York Stock Exchange. Global stocks rise on demand for reopening shares. Asian shares rose on Thursday, continuing a rebound in global markets after a sharp sell-off earlier this week. Investors renewed bets on the reopening of equities, shaking off a fresh wave of COVID-19 cases that threatened to slow the global economic recovery. MSCI Asia-Pacific's broadest index outside Japan rose 0.3% after falling 0.9% the day before. Japan led the gains, with the Nikkei 225 up 2%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index rose 0.5%, but mainland Chinese stocks were weaker, weighed down by persistent fears over Sino-US tensions. European futures pointed to higher openings, with Eurostoxx 50 futures and UK FTSE futures up 0.5% each. On Wall Street, the S&P 500 rose 0.9%, reversing a two-day decline, and ended Wednesday's session 12 points below its record close. S&P futures pointed to a softer opening later on Thursday, down 0.2%. World airlines will show incredible losses in 2021. Total losses for global airlines in 2021 will be $47.7 billion compared to $126.4 billion in 2020, an updated International Air Transport Association forecast showed. IATA has worsened its November forecast, in which it expected losses in 2021 to be $38 billion. The biggest losses await European carriers, $22.2 billion versus $34.5 billion in 2020. Overall, IATA said it anticipates the industry will begin to recover in the second half of 2021. It expects global airline revenues to rise from $372 billion to $458 billion year-on-year. However, this is all significantly less than the $838 billion the industry recovered before the pandemic in 2019. Therefore, spending cuts and help from national governments will be key to the industry's recovery this year. Oil falls on fears of rising virus cases in Asia. Crude oil prices fell to their lowest level in a week as concerns over the fuel's demand trajectory rose after an unexpected increase in U.S. crude stocks last week. U.S. WTI crude futures fell 1.2% to $61.93 a barrel, and Brent crude futures fell 1% to $65.89 a barrel. The American Petroleum Institute reported an increase in crude stocks by just under 0.5 million barrels, in contrast to the expected 3 million decrease. U.S. government data is due to be released today as usual. In addition to concerns about rising demand in India, Japan's two most populous prefectures, Tokyo and Osaka, have asked the central government to quarantine them. These measures are likely to affect the mobility of Asia's third-largest oil consumer.